Welcome to Studio 5. We've got lots to get to today, including a sit-down with actress Patricia Heaton as we talk about her new show, as well as Abominable, DreamWorks Animation's latest adventure. But first, let's begin with the countdown of the top 5 headlines in the world of entertainment. Here is number 5.
At number 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, I saved the Emmys. Mama, how big is your purse?
I could take another one. Give me one.
The 71st Primetime Emmy Awards are handed out. And among the highlights,
Jarrell.
taking home the honor, Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited Series for his role in the Netflix project When They See Us.
Most importantly, this is for the men that we know as the Exonerated Five. Thank you so much. It's an honor, it's a blessing.
At number 4.
My 3-year-old didn't get me a birthday present this year. Yeah, and I've known him for a couple years.
Is comedian Jim Gaffigan, featured in the newest issue of Relevant magazine, opening up alongside his wife about a trying year for their family, sharing, "I lived in this very likely reality that I was going to be a single father of 5 children. That came following his wife being diagnosed with a brain tumor." But he also shares, there was something about her deep faith and the comfort and the peace that she encountered that reassured him. Being there for his comedy writing wife, Gaffigan says he learned to say God was going to work this out in his will.
Hey, everybody!
And those are just the first 2 stories in this week's countdown of uplifting entertainment. We'll pick things back up at number 3 in just a little bit. Right now, we are turning our attention to the big screen, and DreamWorks Animation's taking its audiences on an epic adventure with Abominable. We've shared a little bit of the film with you. Today, though, we have the film and the stars.
Nine.
You need to spend more time here with the family.
Oh, where are you going?
Be back before dinner.
Be careful out there.
No boy.
Got it covered. Bye.
I just want to escape. Abominable is the story of a teenage girl named Yi who lives in a big metropolis in China. And one night while she's on the rooftop playing her violin, she discovers a 2,000-pound Yeti and embarks on a journey with 2 of the other kids in her apartment building to get this Yeti all the way back to his Himalayan home.
No. Get back now. Do you hear me? Let go.
That does not make sense. Why would they take it to the roof?
Oh, guys, what are you doing up here?
Hey, get away from her.
No, wait.
Okay, I'm calling the police.
He's not dangerous. Look at him. He's a Yeti.
Cool. What? No, Yetis don't exist.
The real journey is kind of the idea of what home is. What does home mean to people? What does home mean after loss? What does home mean when you are a young person trying to figure yourself out?
Is that your home? No way.
I really wanted her character to be kind of that tomboy, that strong-willed girl that could take this journey all the way from, the big city all the way across China to the Himalayas.
She's the anti-princess. She's that she's the character for the girls who watch princess movies and they're like, that's cool, I respect that, but that's not enough for me. I don't see myself in that, and that's what we have with Yi.
Go faster!
I'm trying.
Everest, do something!
It's very different from live action, which I think both of us are used to. It's a lot of imagination.
It's working!
Oh no. Guys!
Oh!
Turn!
Just taking what they've made and trying to imagine a giant canola wave field in my head.
It was a really interesting practice of imagination, and it was incredibly exhausting.
Come on, Everest, make it go bigger!
I just want people to see that there can be a story that stars a young woman who is Chinese, that is set in China, and it can be a completely universal story for every single type of person to love.
I wish Dad were here to see this.
Yeah, Ma, Beijing is great.
Yi's theme really is about when the journey gets tough, never give up.
My dad used to pray for me every night, like he was telling me that no matter how hard the journey gets, never give up.
Life is hard, and you have to find something within you that gives you the strength to keep going.
When Yi sets her mind on something, nothing is impossible.
When things get tough, you need to surround yourself with family, your friends, those around you, those who are close to you, anyone who can support you.
What's going on? Whoa! Yi, let go of that. It's dangerous.
Everest, are you sure about this?
No, Peng, get down from there right now. Hey, Peng!
Jin, jump!
Gotcha! Oh! Meet me at that village, by the river!
We'll be there!
And take care of Peng!
Abominable is in American theaters this Friday. That is September 27th.
Still ahead. Why do you think it's these planes have lasted so long?
They were very well overbuilt.
I'm climbing aboard a flight with the renowned World War II airshow team.
It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. Oh no! There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
Young people, millennials, are flocking to church.
It's not an exaggeration to say that we love to meet them and that we love to know their stories.
Come home to the Southern Gospel Station from CBN Radio. You'll enjoy a rich Southern blend of bluegrass, classic gospel, and Southern Gospel favorites. CBN Southern Gospel. Available now at cbnradio.com.
Woohoo! Hi, Superbook fans. Here's something else you'll love. It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. Oh no! There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! Whoa!
Hillsborough Falls man, come with...
Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, excuse me. Ouch!
Are you getting this?
Earn super points to win daily prizes, too. And so much more! Time to get back to my adventures. See you soon. It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
CBN Israel, standing with Israel and blessing God's people. Join us. Get breaking news from the Holy Land. Witness biblical history uncovered. Learn the true story of Israel through groundbreaking films. Help Holocaust survivors and other Israelis in need. Be part of the redemptive story God is telling through His chosen people. CBN Israel. Together we will stand. Join CBN Israel today.
Internal medicine? I hope I'm not late. Nope, still waiting on the chief resident.
Hello, everyone. You must be the internal medicine residents.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Carol Kenny, and I waited a long time for this day.
To be chief resident?
Me? No. I'm an intern, just like you.
But you're...
older, yes, I know.
So why med school?
My marriage fell apart. My husband went off to find himself, and now he's sleeping on his sister's futon, and I'm a doctor, so life is good.
And that's a quick look at the new series starring Patricia Heaton, Carol's Second Act. It premieres this week on CBS. So we thought it only fitting to go back and share some of the great work Heaton is doing when she is not on camera. We caught up with her in Rwanda earlier this year.
Away from the bright lights of the big and small screens, Patricia Heaton is making her mark on the world. Like visiting these women in Rwanda, in this village, working with the humanitarian organization World Vision. How many World Vision trips would you say you've taken?
Rwanda is my fourth. I've been in Zambia, Jordan, and Uganda.
What keeps you coming back?
Well, what I've always loved about World Vision is the long-term impact that it makes, the transparency that the organization has. And every time I come back, I see more and more people lifted out of poverty, women getting educated. There's just all kinds of work that goes on, and every time I come back, I see the progress.
What have you been able to witness since being here in Rwanda?
We got to see a lot of economic development today. And as you know, Rwanda had the terrible genocide in '94, and not only were the people decimated, but the infrastructure, the whole country was decimated, and they were really starting from the ground up. And it's amazing to see, first of all, how beautiful Rwanda is, how green and lush, and to see what, through the Rwandan government's partnership with World Vision, what has been achieved here, especially economically, and with women. Starting businesses, starting savings clubs, being able to make enough money as a community to pay the fees to send their children to school, to buy medical insurance, to improve their homes, starting businesses like making baskets and sewing, buying livestock and selling them. So it's really been amazing to see the economic development starting from the ground up with the help of World Vision and the Rwandan government.
How would you say visits like these change you?
I think, you know, when you come on these visits, you see how much wonderful stuff is happening in the world and how a small donation from you can change not just one person's life, but many people's lives. A whole country can change because of your donation.
And again, you can catch Patricia Heaton this week in Carol's second act. It is on CBS. Right now, the countdown of the best headlines of uplifting entertainment continues. Here's number 3.
At number 3.
On behalf of the 8 generations of my family who have been in this country, we're going to put a little fuel in your bus. And my family is making a grant to eliminate their student loans.
Who could forget billionaire Robert Smith's pledge to erase college loan debt for Morehouse's 2019 graduating class?
I know my class will make sure they pay this forward.
The technology investor and philanthropist is making headlines again, now extending his goodwill gift and paying off the loan debt amassed by those students' parents.
Let's make sure every class has the same opportunity going forward.
At number 2.
We call it precision formation flying. So
special thanks to the leading vintage airshow squadron, the Geico Skytypers. What sets this flight apart from any other flight I'll experience? Pilots with the renowned airshow team allowed me to fly aboard just before their airshow here in Virginia Beach.
This flight you're going to experience formation flight using World War II aircraft, the Navy T-6 SNJ, which the greatest generation used to win World War II. And we are going to demonstrate to you the tactics, formations, and maneuvers that allow the greatest generation to win, and these tactics are still used today, even in today's Navy and Air Force.
In the words of my pilot, Mark Ganucci, it's all the action, without having to dodge an attack. Why do you fly?
I love freedom.
And from up here, freedom is beautiful. Still to come. It's cable TV's #1 live weekend show.
Before we dig in here and get an opportunity to do something we don't often on the show,
live PD host and attorney Dan Abrams joins us.
Are you suffering from feeling tired or worn out during the day? Can you not turn off your brain at night? You are not alone. Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Bruce, the sleep doctor, and I've partnered with the Christian Broadcasting Network, and we're gonna bring you some unbelievable information that you can use tonight to get a better night's rest.
Wake up to your best life. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com to get your free copy of Protect Your Sleep today.
If you want to be an attorney with a passion for serving people and for excellence, Regent University needs to be high on your list.
Regent's award-winning law school doesn't just create lawyers. We create leaders, judges, prosecutors and defense lawyers, civil litigators, and leaders in government.
My focus has been trying to really make sure we have the future leaders we need for the bench and the bar and for society generally.
You'll learn from highly credentialed leaders who are current and former judges, distinguished scholars, and ACLJ counsel.
I'm so glad I chose Regent. The relationships here have been amazing. The faculty have been amazing. Not everybody's called to the same thing when they leave law school, but they're called by God who has a purpose for their lives, and He is going to use that education to make a difference in the world.
Regent will prepare you to be a purpose-driven, practice-ready lawyer. To start your rewarding law career, complete the online application, submit your transcripts, and take the law school admissions test by July. Apply today.
If you want to be an attorney with a passion for serving people and for excellence, Regent University needs to be high on your list.
Regent's award-winning law school doesn't just create lawyers. We create leaders, judges, prosecutors and defense lawyers, civil litigators, and leaders in government. Ready to become a purpose-driven, practice-ready lawyer? To start your rewarding career, complete the online application, submit your transcripts, and take the law school admissions test by July.
I am Regent's first ROTC graduate student.
And welcome back to Studio 5. We have made it to the final headline in this week's countdown of uplifting entertainment. Here is number 1.
At number 1, rapper Lecrae shares a personal journey, visiting holy sites with his music-making friends in Israel.
Lecrae, because of your confession of Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior.
He posted this video on Instagram noting, "Today we got baptized in the Jordan River, the one that John baptized Jesus in." In another post, he shares these photos and writes, "Sitting in the spot where Christ fed thousands of people physical food," while also telling them, "Those who hunger for righteousness are blessed and will be satisfied."
That's a wrap for this week's countdown. It is now time to say it in pictures. Here's this week's Studio 5 snapshot.
To release a person from the feelings of anger.
That's Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers, and as we wait for the film's release, you could say the accomplished actor is getting a late Christmas present. He'll be honored in January at the Golden Globes with the Cecil B. DeMille Lifetime Achievement Award. And with that honor, he's this week's Studio 5 snapshot.
With that snapshot, we turn from pictures to television and attorney Dan Abrams and the new season of his #1 cable series, Live PD. The series follows police in real time as they patrol their communities. Take a look. That scene of police chasing a stolen school bus comes straight from Live PD, and the host of the show joins us right now, Dan Abrams. So good to have you. This is the #1 live show on cable Friday and Saturday. Why do you think it's so successful?
Well, I think that people have been fascinated by seeing what police officers do every day. It is the uncertainty. It is the work, and I think that it's that. It's the fact that this is not just a highlight reel of amazing moments that happened with police officers. This is watching as the story unfolds, watching as they approach the vehicle, watching as they approach a home, and so I think that is what makes the show so compelling.
What is it for you? What is it like for you watching this stuff unfold? Because I imagine you, like us, have no idea what's going to happen.
Exactly. It can be incredibly nerve-wracking at times, watching it unfold. At times, it can be frightening and scary. At times, it can be funny. At times, it can be slower. I mean, this is what it is like to be a police officer. And I think that part of what makes the show so special is that it allows you to then see this all through the eyes of those officers.
We are about 4 seasons in now. Do you have a favorite story that you've seen unfold before your eyes?
You know, I don't know if I have a favorite story. I have certainly, there have been incidents which have stuck with me. There have been, you know, pursuits where I was afraid of what the outcome was going to be. There have been situations, obviously, where people have died, which you never forget. And then there have been lighthearted moments in as well, with characters that we end up seeing repeatedly on the show in a much more lighthearted kind of way. So you know, it is a mix in terms of the show and in terms of, you know, our thinking about it. But it's important always that as the host of the show that I recognize and remember that no matter how lighthearted something is, and I'll make jokes sometimes during the show, etc., that this is still serious stuff. That, you know, most of what we're covering is police officers, very often, you know, putting their lives on the line, people who are probably not having the best day of their lives, interacting with police, and I have to make sure, and my analysts, Tom Morris Jr. and Sean Larkin as well, have to make sure that we're always keeping that in mind as we're following this and covering it.
Great job. We look forward to the new season. Live PD, you can catch it Friday and Saturday on A&E. Dan Abrams, thank you so much.
And coming up,
You've got this. Just draw from your own experience.
the star of Carol's second act, Patricia Heaton, has a few words from the heart to share from the heart of Rwanda.
When I came to Regent University, it's like the world opened up. I felt like I needed to advance my career and go back to school. Regent was a perfect fit for me. The Regent professors are world-class. You are equipped. The focus of the faculty is on each individual student, whether it's online or in person. You become a part of Regent's family. You carry with you not just the content and the knowledge, but the confidence to understand that we can be significant in the world.
Regent University. Follow your path.
Prophecy thousands of years old.
We were called to be a light to the world.
Being fulfilled today. Discover how. Get to life. Call 1-800-700-7000.
We consider it our duty to reach out and help others around the world.
For a gift of $10 or more, you can own the acclaimed CBN documentary To Life. Just call 1-800-700-7000 or log on to CBN.com.
To treat a human, no matter what he is, which religious he has, which color he is, this is what I'm doing.
See how the people of Israel are fulfilling prophecy
History is being written, and I want to be a part of it.
by sharing their knowledge
In Africa, in Asia, in South America, in East Europe.
and their love.
This is how we work. This is us.
Get to life. Call 1-800-700-7000 or log on to CBN.com.
And welcome back to Studio 5. This show wouldn't be possible without good music, and this week's soundtrack comes courtesy of Hillsong Young and Free, along with Andy Mineo. Take a listen and hear why Every Little Thing is playing in my ear.
Hey God, I know you don't need no one to advise you. You probably do a better job running the world than I do. I just thought I'd remind you, I've been trying to find you. It feel like Satan working overtime, times 2. They say if it doesn't kill you, that refines you. But I'm trying to live, and that's bigger than survival. It's been a long night, it's been a long fight. So just remind me now, everything will be alright.
Every little thing will indeed be all right. On that musical note, we are almost out of time for this episode of Studio 5. So here's a quick look at something we're working to bring you come next week.
Johnny's album at Folsom Prison was incredibly powerful. He had a message.
It's a Studio 5 look at the film behind the country music legend's prison recording. And we're also going inside Zach Williams' recording.
The album is Survivor, live from Harding Prison. And you say you dreamt about this for 6 years. So even before you were singing Christian music, you dreamt about going?
Well, so about 6 years ago, when we gave our lives to the Lord, prison ministry was one of the first things we got involved in.
See the faces and hear the voices live from Harding Prison.
Again, we'll have that story for you next week, and certainly we hope you will join us for that. As for the final word for this show, let's give that to Patricia Heaton from the fields of Rwanda.
It's easy to feel kind of despair with some of the atmosphere in our country politically, and I love coming to places like Africa where I see that there's actually a lot of wonderful, good things happening in the world. And a very little bit of money means so much and can really save a life and change a life.
Patricia Heaton, thank you. That is a great final word for this edition of Studio 5. Remember, you can catch our new series, Carol's Second Act, on CBS this week. Now, until next time, we encourage you to make time to uplift someone around you, and then come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.